Tavin will mow your grass and make it look so well. Now Tavin goes donut goals when in town he comes, getting strength for his haunches to cannonball for fun. Tavin ramping up the holler, Tavin trying to make a dollar, Tavin give him a holler, he'll mow your grass today.
Welcome to the Tavin Dillard Podcast, y'all guys. I'm Tavin Dillard. This is season 11 of the Tavin Dillard Podcast, episode 7 of the Tavin Dillard Podcast. And me, I'm Tavin Dillard of the Tavin Dillard Podcast. I got Tavin's Lawn Care Services, mowing, edging, grass cutting legend. So glad you joined me this week. You know we in October's now. You know about that if you got a calendar on your refrigerator somewhere like that, or maybe in your tool shed. I don't know where you keep it, but it's October's the 8th, so if you listen to this on the day it come out. If you ain't listening to this on the day it come out, it don't matter. It's okay. No, you ain't in trouble. No, don't you get upset. Don't you cry. No, listen here. It's okay. You don't have to listen to it on the day it come out. You got your own schedule. Now, years ago, when the radio first came out, did you know not only did they not know that, you had to be ready when it came on live to listen to it, they didn't even know, they didn't have a schedule early on. You just had to be lucky and turn it on and say, oh, it's on now. Before that, in the early days. That's a radio fact for you. But now with the podcasting world, you can listen to it at your own leisure, as they say. So you got something to do, you got a t-ball game to get to, you got a chili cook-off to get ready for. I don't know, your town's got a fall festival that you building a float for, whatever going on, and you can say, well, I ain't got time to listen to the Tavin Dillard Podcast just yet, but I can catch it later, because that's how it works. Or maybe you want to listen to the podcast while you doing any of them things, making the chili or whatnot. I don't know, but I'm glad you're here. It ain't quite chilly weather where I'm at, but we heading toward it. There's been all kind of weather, you know that, all over the country here. So I hope y'all are staying safe and doing well. And I'm glad you joined me. There's quite a bit going on in Chancellor Park, the trailer park I live, my neck of the woods, and my town, and everything. Just some housekeeping. I like to do that as we get started. Go ahead and check the show notes. You're going to find 4 things there today. Tavin's bacon bags. Get you a bag. Time to snack, time to eat. Could be for fishing, could be for hanging out, could be for a picnic. I ain't gonna tell you where and when to eat your bacon, but pick up a bag. You'll see a link in the show notes for that today. Delicious, snacking bacon. Real good flavor. If you ain't tried it, this might be the time. And then also, personal video greetings. I've been doing those. Last week, I don't know how many I did a food, here and there for people's occasions. I think I did an anniversary and birthdays, that kind of thing. Also, so you'll see the personal video greetings, and you'll see the link to all the shirts. Like I said, we discontinued. I talked to Ryan last week, at Rock City Outfitters. He helped me with the shirts. He make them, and I design them. Y'all know how I like to draw it or design them, but Ryan actually make them, kind of thing. Anyhow, he said we getting low on some. Some of them there's like I think a food 3XL. Some of you get into some sizes that you got extras of, but you don't have any like larges left or medium. So you can check them shirts that are being discontinued. If you want one, you probably need to grab it. If they got your size in, there'll be a little drop down menu, and you can select, I want a medium, and it'll say sold out, or go ahead and get you one, kind of thing. There's 6 that I'm letting y'all know about. There's, I think, a few tank tops and a hoodie or 2 we discontinued too, but I think them's, just kind of going to disappear one day. You just won't see them on the website. And these other ones too, but the butter bacon 20 out 24, time to campaign. Butter for president, bacon for vice president. Yeah, you can get one of them shirts. You get the watermelon helmet shirt. There's a lot of the youth size. If you got a youth size that wants the watermelon helmet shirt, you can get one of them. Let's see what else. B.O. sandwich, bacon recipe, turkey salmon. And it's the season too right now. Tavin podcast shirt. And there's one other one that I can't remember off the top of my head. But you know what they are, because I talked about them a few times already. Watermelon helmet. I'll think of it later. Like this away, like that away. The one with my face on the front, and I'm saying that. So them are there. And then I said 4 things. So we got the bacon, we got the personal video greetings, we got the t-shirts, and that'll also take you to hats and hoodies kind of thing too. and then the Tavern Cruise. Get some information on that. You can sign up. We're trying to get people that are interested. We need to know who they are, and then start giving you all the details of this exciting cruise. And you can see the itinerary on that website too, thecruisewithtavern.com. And then if you just want to holler at me this week, say, hey, how you doing? 501-322-6249. You can just text me. I've been texting folks this past week, and I keep doing it. I got thumbs, whatever. And then email me, taverndillard@gmail.com. So that's all the housekeeping. That's where you can find all the stuff. If you want to get a gift for somebody, surprise somebody, make somebody's day, make your own day, check out all them things going on in the show notes today. Boy, it's hot a little bit where I'm at in the trailer. I got a cold can to my head, Dr. Pepper. There you go. So I do have an update for y'all guys on Team Burger Shed, and I do have an update for you on just something happened in town with my gal Cricket this week. So Team Burger Shed, firstly, we 10-5-1. Good news, we had a roast beef free week at the concession stands. That's a win. Ain't nothing wrong with roast beef. Don't hear me say that. But there was something wrong with that expired Meals on Wheels roast beef from last week's. If you ain't listened to that episode, you might want to pause this one and head back just to get the scoop on what happened. But you would not want to be scooping any of that on your plate last week. It went south quick. But we had ourselves a game this week. But like I said, first there's some nursing home news I need to catch you up on. My gal Cricket that works down at the nursing home hosted, I guess that's the word, you host or you lead it, like a baking class. And not like bacon, like, the breakfast snack or the snack I'm selling, like Tavin's Bacon, like you bake a cake, like you bake whatever else you bake, lasagna, you bake cookies, which that's what Cricket was doing. She was leading the baking class, and like the assignment or thing they was going to learn to do, or maybe they already know how to do it because they full-grown adults, but they were going to just do that. That was the assignment, the little treat they was going to make was cookies, for the people that live at the nursing home, the residents. She going to teach them how to make a chocolate chip cookie. They're going to make that together. Now, that seems easy enough, don't it? You're saying to yourself, well, Tavin, that seems easy enough. Maybe you're saying it to me if you say Tavin at the beginning, unless your name's Tavin. But you know what I mean. You're saying, hey, that don't seem like a hard assignment, especially if you get them cookies. You know how you can go to the grocery store and then they got hot sections and cold sections and refrigerated sections and ice cream sections and frozen food sections and the produce section, all them kind of different sections, like they got them in different like neighborhoods of the grocery store. Well, if you get in there in that colder section, not in the frozen section, but it's a little bit cool, maybe you keep your biscuits over there and the butter kind of thing, you can find them tubes cookie dough. They look like a sausage, but do not try to fry it and put it on a biscuit. I'll tell you that right now. But I'm telling you, they got these things where all you got to do is cut them, as fat as you want to make your cookie kind of thing, and then put them on the little platter in the oven and you cook them right. Well, that's one way to do it. That ain't what they doing today, though. Cricket wasn't about just saying, okay, we're going to cut this little cylinder of cookie dough and then put them on a tray and say bye. No, they's going to work, y'all guys. I mean, they's going to have the whole experience. And so I appreciate her being brave enough, having the patience enough, and saying, okay, I'm going to do this, especially when you hear who showed up to this little baking class that Cricket was leading. They had them like a long folding table out in the mess hall, the nursing home, and anybody that wanted, there's a residential there, could come do this thing. Options for the cookie that you made. Like they told them up front, okay, you're going to be a part of this. What you're going to do, what's going to happen today is you're going to be making cookies. And you got some options of what you can do with them cookies that you about to make. You can eat them. That's what a lot of people want to do. You make a cookie, you want to eat a cookie, and that's okay. That's one of the options. That's what I'm telling you right now. You can share them with the staff. That's the folks that work there. Or you can share them with them. You can share them with your family. Folks come visit, and you say, here, take a little bit of cookie home with you kind of thing. You could donate them to Meals on Wheels so they can put them in them little meals they deliver kind of thing. All kind of options for the cookies you're going to make. You can share it. You can eat it. You can do a little both. So they just told them up front. This is what, keep it in mind. Just keep it in mind. Some things you can do. Maybe make somebody else's day happy kind of thing. Well, firstly, you got to make the cookies, okay? It ain't invisible. You can't go to somebody with an invisible cookie and say, here, I'm giving you a cookie. I know you can't see it or taste it or nothing like that, but I'm giving it to you. Look how nice I am. No, y'all guys, that ain't how it works. You know that. I know that. So the first thing they got to do is make them cookies. Well, who showed up for this baking party? Okay, I told you weren't gonna believe it, but yeah, you might. But it doesn't mean it's gonna make this story no easier for my gal Cricket, who had to lead these folks through the whole process, as they say. So Elmore Fisdale was there. You know he lived there. Doreen Fundle. Need I say more? Well, I will. Dewey Morton. I know what you're thinking, and I'm going to say it in a little bit, but I'm going to hold my tongue right now. But Dewey Morton was there, Beer Gregory, and then like a few others. I forget how many, but they're talking about 6 or 7 residentials looking to bake. So, maybe 7 folks tops there. And to be clear, they put all the ingredients together, and one at a time, they put theirs in the oven in the mess hall kitchen. So they all got their own little tray, what they call them, like a baking sheet or kind of thing, about them. So you put your own cookies on your own baking sheet, and they had like a little wax paper with your name on or some way to, so folks know, oh, them's my cookies on that baking sheet. They figured that out. But that wasn't my job. I didn't know the ins and outs of the details of how you make sure them's your cookies, not somebody else's, but they had it figured out. They had a system, okay? They did have a system. I do not know what it was. I do not know the system. That wasn't my thing. But they got room in them ovens for everybody's cookies that was making them on their own little baking sheets. There's several ingredients for them cookies. I guess you could say it was from the scratch. God bless Cricket for taking this on. That's what I say, because I'm just telling you, it wasn't an easy class to lead. So the ingredients in these cookies was butter, of course. Butter for president, eggs, vanilla, baking soda, water, salt, flour, chocolate chips, walnuts. Them's were optional. That's in parentheticals, where you like, oh, maybe walnuts if I want to. People had the choice, some people want them, some people don't. What could possibly go wrong, you might be asking? That's easy. Well, I tell you, so much, y'all. So much could go wrong. Dewey Morton picks up a stick of butter and starts to play it like a harmonica. So he got butter all over his mouth, and more importantly, he got his mouth all over that stick of butter. I do not know what's going on in my town the last week or two with either people or animals just licking sticks of butter. Like when I had to go have that Meals on Wheels with Millie Ricks last week, and she got that new little baby pet possum that she say ain't her pet, but hey, if he's up on your counter in your kitchen licking a stick of butter, I think he might live there. The door wasn't open. That's that one Shane Grubbs found at the pawn shop or whatever it is now, when he was metal detecting. He took it to Millie's because he figured, oh, she'll be nice to this thing. And she's like, well, I don't need no pet. I'll probably let him go here loose. I might give him a meal or two, but then he's on his own. Well, that's 3 weeks or a month ago. Looky here. She got that first Possum Keith, who she say ain't hers. And then she got the second one now that's still hanging around. I don't know if she named it yet, but anyways, I know it was licking butter last week, and I had to shove a dry cornbread in my mouth just so I wouldn't have anything to put butter on, because I didn't want to get near that thing. So anyhow, that possum ain't here. There ain't no possums in the nursing home, but there is Dewey Morton playing a stick of butter like a harmonica, and then kind of humming, out of his mouth and his nose, because he making it sound like, boy, this stick of butter is my harmonica that's making music kind of thing. So that's where we are at the beginning, and he gets to keep that thing. We don't want that stick of butter, Dewey. I don't know if he needed a whole stick of butter for his batch. They was all making their own batch, like I said, but he got it. Way to go, Dewey. Beer Gregory, she got into the salt. I don't know if she thought it was sugar. I don't know. Maybe she loves salt. Maybe her sodium was low. I don't know. She just ate a little teaspoon, and then she kind of went for another teaspoon, and Cricket noticed, and she says, you can't just eat all the salt. It'll taste better in the cookies, Vera. That's also going to taste better than the cookies. You got to put everything together, kind of thing. Can't start getting into the ingredients too early. And Beer just said, I don't think so. but Bear went ahead and showed some self-control. She can't be faulted for that. She did say, okay, I'll throttle back a little bit, listen to Cricket. Same thing can't be said for Dewey Morton, though, y'all. He's over there laughing and eating a handful of chocolate chips. Here's the thing. Everybody got the same ingredients for these cookies. The ones I done listed off for you. You know, they got whatever the serving size is for how much you put in. I don't know, but they all got butter. They all got eggs, vanilla, baking soda, water, salt, flour, chocolate chips, and walnuts. They all got all of that. And now they got to make the things with all them things. But once you eat, you know, you eat all your salt, you out of salt. You know, like that away. So that's where we moving in to some different looking, different tasting cookies, depending on what the person that was making them, the cook, decided to leave in or leave out. So Dewey Morton's over there eating chocolate chip, and you know, you don't have to use all the ingredients. If you want less salt or less butter, more butter, but you're getting enough to do like a full batch or whatever they call. But if they eat all their chocolate chips, let's say, they ain't getting more of that. Cricket told Dewey Morton, and he just snickered. He is mischievous. So mischievous. That's Dewey Morton for you, though. He ended up with 5 chocolate chips left for about 12 cookies. That ain't even 1 chocolate chip per cookie, y'all got. Not even close. I mean, that's how the math work out. If you got 5 chocolate chips and you got 12 cookies you making, well, you think with me. 1 good chocolate chip cookie is going to have, 8 to 10 chocolate chips in it if it's really done right. I mean, if you're asking me. And you think Dewey Morton's got 5 total to spread over 12 cookies? Forget about it. He went heavy on the walnuts, so I guess he was basically making whole walnut cookies because he didn't chop any of them into smaller pieces. Like, they gave you the ingredients, but you got to cut off, you know, the amount of butter you need. You got to chop the walnuts if that's what you want in your cookie, or you got to leave them whole, I guess, if you want to. Now, they weren't still green like in the shell and you had to break them open. They were shelled walnuts, but if you want smaller pieces, you're going to have to cut them up. But Dewey wasn't about that. Doreen Fundle, she was not satisfied with her rations, so she starts scooping people's salt and their sugar into an apron she was wearing. Come on, Doreen. Cricket told her to knock it off or she'd get sent back to her room with no cookies. And then Cricket explained to her how disappointed Captain Thunderboots would be with her. You know, that's her pet goldfish, who apparently loves chocolate chip cookies, according to Doreen. That's our second one. I don't know how long a goldfish lives, but this one's like, you know, getting up there. I mean, it's like Old Testament, you know. It's like Moses' age. I feel like it lived 3 times as long as a goldfish supposed to, but I don't really know. I didn't go to school for goldfish. I just think, boy, this one's really hanging around, you know, kind of thing. Good thing, too, Doreen got pretty crushed that first time her first Captain Thunderboots died, and before she got the other one. But Cricket's over there trying to talk sense into Doreen, just letting her know, hey, listen, you want to make your goldfish proud. Now, to you, you might be hearing that and saying, that's crazy. Why would anyone say? Listen, hey, if it gets Doreen to behave, Cricket's going to say it. And you know what she did? She shaped up. Cricket started giving directions about how to make the cookies, and folks started putting the ingredients together. So now they starting to put, you know, you mix this with this. How do you think it went, though, when they started cracking them eggs? Well, let me tell you. Dewey Morton decided to crack his by putting it in the front pocket of his coveralls. He just dropped that egg in and he smacked it with his hand. Then he snickered. He got a real kick out of that. Cricket told him that's the only egg you're going to get. So he had to start fishing it out of his pocket and into the mixing bowl. Now he's reaching his little long, faint, lanky fingers down that front pocket of the coveralls, and he got to get past the shell. It's all in there together now. I mean, you put a fully shelled, regular standard egg in your front pocket, and you smack it, well, that shell gonna break, and now you got shell, and you got egg, you got yolk, you got all them parts of the egg just scooting around in that front pocket. So he's in there now, boy, trying to fish that thing out. Bear Gregory, she dropped her little egg, and she in a wheelchair, you know. and somehow it didn't break. I don't know how, but it rolled, and Cricket went ahead and chased that one down and cracked it for beer. They weren't going to make her like crawl out of her wheelchair and chase that thing down or roll down there. I mean, she's liable to roll right over that egg. And not only would it smash the egg, you don't know what a little bump might do to a elderly lady in a wheelchair. I mean, it could take you sideways. You could be doing some real kind of freestyle X Games type of wheelchair and that you didn't expect to do. And I don't know how Beer I don't know that she's that good at sticking a landing or, bracing for impact kind of thing, falling with style. That ain't part of her like a skill set, really. So Cricket went ahead and chased that down and cracked it for Vera. Now Doreen, she said, Captain Thunderboots, he's allergic to vanilla. I can't put no vanilla in my cookies. Captain Thunderboots is allergic to them. But he ain't allergic to cookies, Doreen? Come on. Anyhow, no vanilla in Doreen's cookies, lots of butter in Dewey's, but barely any chocolate chips, and a partial egg. Whatever he could fish out of that front coverall's pocket ended up in the little mixing bowl, but it wasn't a whole egg. He couldn't get his little lanky fingers down there far enough, and then it starts soaking into the coveralls, and then you're trying to pick around the shell so you don't get that in your cookies. Everybody's got it mixed though. Everybody got whatever ingredients they ended up putting in, got all mixed together. Everything looks a little better once you mix it together. You just mix them, and it's kind of a smooth, kind of like batter or whatever you call it. I don't know the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. Is the cookies before they cooked. And they're supposed to have 12 each, basically. Everybody that was making cookies, Elmore, Fizdale, Doreen, Dewey, Vera Gregory, the others, they're supposed to leave, this whole baking class with Cricket with about 12 cookies. But some of them cookies turned out bigger than they thought they would. Some of them turned out real tiny and smaller. So I guess everybody's was between like 8 to 15 cookies. Most people had 8 to 15. So it's fine. There's plenty of cookies for them to share with the staff or with their family or eat or maybe donate to Meals on Wheels. That's one of the things they floated out at the beginning. But we needed to see what was going to actually come out of that oven at the end. Dewey, he ate one of his raw right off the cookie sheet. So he was down one before they even started baking. He sure thought that was funny. And apparently he thought it was good too. I mean, he ate that pretty quick, raw egg and all. And finally, everybody got these mixed and baked. Now, I really don't think anybody would have been happy to get many of those cookies as a gift. Cricket made an executive decision, as they say, and she didn't send any to Meals on Wheels. She heard about last week's roast beef issue, and y'all know all about the roast beef issue, and she didn't want any more drama around Meals on Wheels in town. I don't blame her. She don't want to give them a bad name, so, they doing good work. So she just stopped that idea before it even really got going. Dewey Morton's cookies, oh, they was awful. Dewey made some awful cookies. He put some under people's pillows in the nursing home. Of course he did. He's mischievous. And I mean, you ain't getting chocolate chips in every one that Dewey makes. In fact, more of them than not didn't have any chocolate chips. They had whole walnuts, I can tell you that, but no chocolate chips. So Cricket did bring a few of them cookies to the field this week. She made, a little batch too. I tried one before the game. I don't like to eat a lot before the games. Y'all guys know that. And between seeing her, been having that delightful chocolate chip cookie, I'll tell you right now, I was ready to play. So, nursing home's behind us. That wasn't really my deal anyhow, but boy, I knowed about it. And we played Team Sonic this week. And they had boys eating birthday cake on it. This is fellas on their team, these full-grown men eating birthday cake before the game. What I think might have happened is there's a party for one of the kiddos of the players on the team. And then they just played the game. They're like celebrating some little one-day kiddos' birthdays with cake. And the fellas on the team is like, hey, I like cake. Let's eat some cake and then play some softball. I'm thinking, buddy, not me, boy. But that's what Team Sonic wanted to do. And I played adult league softball long enough to know you don't want to have too much to eat before a game. I did have that cookie, like I said, but that's not too bad. Nachos with jalapenos, that's bad. Lots of pizza, that's bad. Birthday cake, we was about to find out. First inning was slow, like 3 up, 3 down for both teams. I started in right field. Russell had me bat lead up. Like I said, not much happening in the first. I made soft contact, but I pulled it right to the first baseman. I'm a lefty. I'm a lefty. I sure am a lefty. And in the third inning, Brody Childers showed up. He's been working out of town and coming home in the evenings. I mean, that's his reason for being late. All the other times he's late to our games, it's some other reason, but this week it was that. It was the old, I'm working out of town, got to hustle home, and here I am kind of thing. Third inning, though, Brody's batting when there's an awful noise coming from them stands. Brody takes a strike because he's looking back over his shoulder in the stands. Turns out one of them little kiddos from the birthday party has done gone and throwed up. It's gross. It is gross. I ain't going to explain it to you, but I'm pretty sure that kiddo had blue punch, vanilla sheet cake, and french fries before all that happened. There's a poor little gal there, I think it was probably his sister. She stepped in it, and you'd think she stepped into a bear trap. I mean, she was just hollering. Now, P.J. McGee and the city workers, they's going to play after us in the softball game. So he got them kiddos over to that water hose, and he cranked it on that little gal's foot and all over that little throwed-up boy. His mama already yanked his shirt off. I mean, that could be an Olympic sport right there. A mom yanking a shirt off her son who just throwed up, they can do that in like half a second flat. Like, and boy, that kid's chest naked just like that, getting hosed off by P.J. McGee. Over there working for the city. He got rights. He got the power to be able to crank on the city hose at the fields if he need to. And so that's what he did. Then they was heading to the concession stand because the boy was hungry since he lost his supper and dessert. So that's how that went. You know, that everything kind of calmed down and he got cleaned up, and I guess the area around him got all cleaned up, and then he was hungry. And that's how it went. Then I guess he was going to get some dessert too. I don't know what I was going to get. I don't care about the menu. That's where I got to stay locked in on what's happening between the lines of the field and not looking over there and being like, oh, well, what's he buying? Oh, is there any left? Is there going to be anything for me after the game? I can't go there, y'all guys. I can't go there. I got to focus. I guess it's what you call like a delay a game. Funny thing is, usually the delay game is on the field, but it seems like most of our delays are off the field. Well, anyhow, Brody, he's still batting. He stepped back into the batter's box, and he cranked a homer. Good on you, Brody. Late for the game, but right on time with that homer. First run of the game. Boy, we's excited. Boy, we drawed first blood, as they say. Russell, Russell Tucker, he pitched most of the game. Mort Waddell's especially limber at first base tonight. That's good. I know he's been down at Thunder Punch more. Maybe Coach Hicks is helping him stretch them haunches kind of thing. Even though Coach Hicks has his own softball team and we basically rivals, he still run that gym for anybody that wants to exercise. So he ain't going to be mad at you if you're getting down there and using the gym like that away. And apparently Mort's been doing that. He's been a little more limber. What I mean is he dived tonight twice. And both times he stopped the ball. Now, getting up fast off that tummy of his is a tall order, but Russell was on it, covering first base, so Mort could just toss it to him. And that's what happened a couple times. In the end, y'all ain't going to believe this. Team Burger Shed, we won. Now, that ain't the unbelievable part. We done that before. What was hard to believe was that we won 1-0. We beat Team Sonic 1-0. I ain't ever been in a 1-0 game that I can remember. Or maybe I forgot it. Maybe I overlooked it. I mean, you can go back because one thing I've documented all my games since Team Burger Shed started. You know, my book Team Burger Shed, that takes you through the whole first season of our adult softball league. But here we are, boy, few seasons later, and we just beat Team Sonic 1-0 in a softball game. Now, Team Burger Shed has won 11 games. That's a high number, y'all. 11 games to 5 losses to 1 tie. 11 5s and 1. We played good defense, and we had just enough offense. And we got free snow cones. Win by 10 or win by 1, you still get a free snow cone. I got tangerine, it's my favorite, and I ain't had it in a while, truth be told. Team Sonic, they headed over there for snow cones too. I think the throwed up episode had been long enough back that most folks had their appetite back. I'm glad I kept that chocolate chip cookie down after that kiddo got sick. I was in right field though, so that's far enough away to see that it ain't a good situation without having to see all the details. You know, you see somebody double over and people run from them, you figure, boy, that ain't good. If you're getting Meals on Wheels this week, just a little announcement, you should not be getting any walnut-only cookies. It could be under a pillow, though. It could be under a pillow. So I thank y'all guys for joining me today on the Tab and Dillard podcast. I have to scoot out of here, y'all. I got to scoot out of here. I got some stuff in town I got to get done, but I'm glad y'all joined me. I sure appreciate it. Could you leave me a rating on Apple Podcast or the Spotify or wherever you're listening to the podcast today? You can leave a comment too. I know you can on Apple Podcast at least. So any of that helps. I'll appreciate it. I know it's going to take a little bit of time out of your day, but if you could take the time to leave me a review and share this podcast, I sure appreciate it. It helps me a lot. Thank y'all for doing that. And I hope you have a good day. Check them show notes. You're going to have to see all them things on there. You're going to see the bacon. You're going to see the personal video greetings. You're going to see the shirts for sale that are getting discontinued. And then, what's the last one there? The Tab Cruise. That's right. Check that out. You can also email me, tabanddillard@gmail.com, or shoot me a text, 501-322-6249. All right, y'all guys, let's have a good rest of your day and a great rest of your week. And hey, if you ain't dropped a raw egg in the front shirt pocket of your coveralls and smacked it with your open hand, breaking it, then fishing it out to drop it in a mostly walnut cookie recipe, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tab and Dillard. This is the Tab and Dillard podcast. Till next time, y'all guys. We'll see you later.